Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess and today I'm going to be talking about my autumn TBR, which I've never done before, I don't think. So I'm going to talk about the books that I want to read in the month of autumn. Okay, I clearly need to go back to uni. I'm going to talk about the books that I have lined up ready to read for the season of autumn. And there's actually a lot because I have a lot of books coming out that I'm excited about. So let's just go into it. For September, I think I am going to start off with The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. If you don't know, I'm rereading my favourite series of all time, which is The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the last book in the series, so I'm going to be reading that throughout the first part of September as part of the Raven reread that's being hosted by I Read YA, I think is the account. I'll link the reread links and stuff below if you want to take part in it with me. I've really enjoyed it and this is the only one left. I'm not going to go into what it's about though because I'm lazy and I've described the series way too many times. Okay, next up is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Yes, I still haven't read this book. I know, it only recently came out in the UK, I think, or readily available in the UK. I found it in Waterstones. It's a gorgeous cover, I absolutely adore this cover. If you don't know, Daisy Jones and the Six is about a girl called Daisy, she's a singer, I'm assuming, and a band called the Six. They're put together to become the biggest group in the world, and it works. They become really, really famous, and it's sort of I think it's set in the 60s. I'm not really sure, but it's told through oral history, which is interviews. Everyone is obsessed with this book. It's so many people's top choice of the year, so I'm really excited to read this. I love The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, also by Taylor Jenkins Reid, so I think I'm really going to be excited about this, and I think it's going to be quite a I don't know why the colours remind me of autumn, you know, the reds and the yellow, so we'll see. We're going to read it. Okay. Next, on my autumn TBR, we're going into the spooky side of things now, maybe heading into October. I started this book recently, but I kind of DNF'd it because I was more excited to read other things, and I've also had it for ages, so I really should read it. But I'm going to be reading Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. I've had this for a while, and I never read it. I started it, but I sort of DNF'd it because I had other things that I wanted to read more. But I think this is going to be really good, spooky season reading, mystery, thriller-ish kind of thing. I'm not a huge fan of horror or thrillers and stuff like that. I like my books to be light and entertaining, so I think this will be a nice healthy medium for me. So it's about this boarding private school, half taking place in the 30s, I believe, and half taking place now. I don't know much about it, but back in the 30s, the founder of the school's wife and daughter were kidnapped, and it became one of the biggest cold cases in history. And then set in the present day, a student starts at the school and she is determined to solve the case. And I've heard a few different things about this series, that it's very slow, that you don't really get any answers for a long time, so we'll see. It's really long as well, so I'm a bit worried about that. Next up is How to Be Famous by Caitlin Moran. I recently picked this up because I saw it in Tesco for £3.50 and I just had to buy it. I adore Caitlin Moran. I think everything she writes is hilarious, it is amazing, and she's just so funny. And this How to Be Famous is a sequel to How to Build a Girl by Caitlin Moran, which is a fictional story. She has written sort of anthologies, and she's a journalist, so she writes a lot of non-fiction as well. But How to Build a Girl was her first fiction novel, I believe, and it's about a girl called Joanna who comes from a very working class northern, I think, family, and just her crazy life as she becomes a journalist in the late 80s and 90s. Yeah, the late 80s and 90s, she sort of comes up and tries to become famous, and this is the sequel to that. Caitlin Moran is so funny. She's such an underrated author in my opinion, and I really love everything she's written, so I'm very excited about this. For the next part of the TBR is things that haven't been released yet. So what I'm going to do, because I can't remember all of them, I can remember most of them. Let's see. I've pre-ordered a lot of books that are coming out on exactly November 5th. So, I'll have a couple of months to read all those books, and then everything, and I mean everything that I've been looking forward to, comes out on the same day. Number 1 is, of course, Call Down the Hawk by Maggie Stiefvater, the first book in the Dreamer trilogy that she is writing, which focuses on one of the main characters from the Raven cycle, which is Ronan. And I am so excited for the Dreamer trilogy. Ronan is my favourite character from the Raven cycle, and he's my baby, and all I want to know is that him and Adam are happy and doing okay. I can't wait to read more of Maggie's writing, because I did start reading the released 8 chapters that have come out, but I don't want to read too many of them. But I can't even talk. I'm so excited for it. I don't want to know much about it. I just want to go into it, and I'm just so excited. But also coming out on the 5th of November is Supernova by Marissa Meyer, which I've also pre-ordered. It is the 3rd book, I think the last one, in the Renegades trilogy. I really like the Renegades trilogy so far. I loved Arch Enemies. I just love them. They're so different and so great, and I can't wait to read the conclusion and find out what happens. It's going to be a wild ride, guys. It's going to be a real wild ride, I can tell you that now. But I'm excited for it. I'm going to be purchasing, because I have it pre-ordered, also coming out on the 5th of November, is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. Now, if you know me at all, you would know my favourite book of all time is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. And this is the 2nd book she is bringing out, I think. The Night Circus, I think, was her debut novel. And then this is literally the next book that she's brought out. And The Night Circus came out 8 years ago, so it's about freaking time. I really don't know what The Starless Sea is about. I think it's something about a library, something about some magical stuff. I'm not really sure, to be honest, but I'm not bothered. I'm just going to read it anyway, because I'm so excited to have another installment of her writing. That is my current autumn TBR. There is some more books that I want to be pre-ordering for the end of the year. For example, The Toll by Neil Shusterman, which is the 3rd book in the Scythe series, Arc of the Scythe series. I think I'll be pre-ordering that, because that also comes out, again, on November 5th. And I have some other ones that I have, if I have time to read. I probably won't, because I'm going back to uni in 3 weeks, and it's going to be a busy time, but I'm ready. I'm so ready to read all of these books. So let me know what your autumn TBR is, what you're most excited for that's coming out in November or October. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below on what your most anticipated release or read for the autumn time is going to be. And other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!